This is what you want, the grinder, I presume. Hi everybody, welcome to the Maple Tree Forge Milling Company. Today we're going to show you how to shell corn and grind corn the old-fashioned way. First thing you got to do is get some ear corn. But I'd like to show you a little bit about the machine first. The machine is a hand crank corn sheller. It's got a wheel that goes around with teeth on it inside. And when you drop the ear in the top, the cob will come out the side. Now there's just a hand crank, and the farmers use these. They mount them on a barrel and run their ear corn through and feed it to the chickens or small cow or a couple cows, whatever they had. This is not for the guy that has 100 head of cattle. Then there's a weird looking thing on the front here, a little cone. Now the farmers would save, they wouldn't go out and buy their seed corn. When they had an ear of corn, the kernels are different shapes. In the center you have your flat kernels. On the end you have a round kernel, a large round, and on the small end, the pointed end of the ear, you have a small round. Now the farmer, if he wanted to plant, and usually they planted the flat kernels, and that's what they wanted, they would butt the ear. First they'd take off this end, then they'd take off this end, and then they'd save them and then run them all through the sheller and save those center kernels for planting for their next year's crop. They put these on dryers and let them hang. That's what that's for. And I'll show you how it works when we get started here. And over here we have a grinder. It's called a burr grinder. There's burrs in there which are nothing but little teeth. And it's used for grind. You can set this thing tighter or looser, and I think it's set right now for bird feed. We ground corn to feed the birds. We didn't want it real fine, but you can set this tight so it'll ground cornmeal if you want. You can make your pancakes out of it, or your cornbread, or whatever you're going to do. So let's take a look at the corn here. Now, in order to shell this corn, it's got to be fairly dry, and this is this year's corn. It's a little damp yet, but it can't have any husks on it, so we have to take the husks off. And now I'm going to show you what this sheller does. We're going to shell the whole ear off for the chickens right now. So when we crank it here, we drop that ear in. The ear comes out over, or the cob comes out on this side. I'll do it a little slower so you can see it again. We're going to drop the ear in. Turn the crank. The teeth are knocking the kernels off. It's taking it down. It's spinning the ear. Now watch, it goes down, and now the cob is going to come out over here. Sometimes. There it is. And then you get your shelled corn. We'll do another one. There it goes. Going down. Ears turning. Kernels are coming off. Watch this. Comes right out. The cobs come out there. You get the little bit of cobs in there once in a while, but generally it's pretty good. Ready to be ground. once you've got your corn shelled, then you can take it and put it in the grinder. Now generally I have a scoop, I don't know where that is, but I'll just take some and we'll put it in the grinder. Now you look down, it's coming out on the front side here. Again, it's a little wet. It grinds. We're grinding corn. When I was farming full time, I had a lot of ear corn, and I'd take this to shows. The kids could crank this thing all day long. Shell corn, they loved it. Now, the grinders did come with a hopper that came up here, and so you could put in a whole gallon of corn at a time and grind it. I have a hopper, I don't know where it is right now. And so we shell it and grind it. Again, you can say you can grind this tight enough to put wheat berries through there and make flour if you want, but you got to grind it really tight then, set it real up tight. And I don't do that because that's kind of hard on the burrs. And these things are old. This is an old Enterprise grinder, the kind they used to have in stores, and most of the farmers had them. You can even grind your coffee with it. It does get pretty fine. This is ground feed for cattle, corn for birds. And you're turning this is rotating. Now, I'm a farmer and I want some seed corn. I'm just going to take the ends off there. And see the big round kernels on the end of that? They're going to come off now. Now you got rid of all the rounds, so them you can grind for the cattle. Now you have nothing left but the nice flat kernels for planting. That's what they used years ago in the hand corn planters. Medium flats and large flats on this side. And then you can run it through and shell out for your flats, for your seed corn. And the farmers, they didn't have one of these, they used a hand corn sheller to do it. If you don't have a crank, you can always shell your corn by hand with a hand corn sheller. Nothing to it. Shelling corn, grinding corn, right here at the Maple Tree Forge Milling Company. Thanks for being with us, everybody. I enjoy having you. See you again on Ozzie's Oddities.